Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Head On. It's my honor and privilege this evening to welcome the unsung heroes in our community who are members of the Royal Canadian Marine Search and Rescue, branch number 27 right here in Nanaimo. Please welcome Gordie Robinson and Debbie Thomson.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gordie and Debbie, for what you're doing here in the community along our beautiful coastline, which we all enjoy, the beautiful encounters with nature and water. It can also be a very, very treacherous coastline, very treacherous waters, and bad things can happen very, very quickly.
Very quickly. Yeah.
So we're just so thankful that we have people like you and the other 1,100 volunteers, which is tremendous, out here on the coast to help keep us safe, help us enjoy these waters, and when we do get in trouble, what a comforting sight to see.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And so, Gordie, you've been involved for about 10 years now?
10 years, yes.
Mm-hmm. And you're also on the board of directors for the regional RCM
yes,
Search and Rescue.
That's correct, yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's a tremendous
Great
accomplishment.
organization to be part of.
Yeah, well, to be 10 years, it must be very encouraging to stay on.
It is.
And Debbie, your role there is more along the safety lines?
Yes, I'm president of the society, and I'm also involved with boating safety, SAR prevention, community events, festivals, and all those fabulous marine activities that happen in the Nanaimo area.
And that's another thing, because behind the scenes of all these wonderful marine activities, for example, the Van Isle 360, the yacht race, the boat race, dragon boats, the Marine Festival, behind the scenes and ready and waiting are you and your teams to help make sure all these wonderful functions go safely.
Yes, and we're on the water as well as on the land doing those festivals. And we do the boat inspections for the Van Isle 360, which is a total honor to be able to use our skills to make sure their vessels are safe for their race.
Exactly, because that's a lot of boats circumnavigating the island.
We're out for all the fireworks, we're out for the dragon boat races, we're out for the silly boats, any event that's happening on the water. The bathtub races is a huge week for us.
Yeah, tremendous.
Fun several fun days, We're
That's
out
great.
for all the events.
Fantastic.
On land and on sea.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, we've got a lovely collage of photos that we're going to run through, and I think, Gordie, you're going to speak to them.
Sure.
So it'll give you a sort of an overview of the Royal Canadian Marine Search and Rescue, branch 27.
This vessel here that you're seeing is our open vessel called the Mennel, and it's showing the way the people sit is separate from the boat, so it kind of moves around and it's able to keep the people safe from hurting their tailbone from the rough seas, and it makes the equipment move with us, so it's a very, very safe vessel. Next one. Very sturdy. This is a picture of our simulator, which is in Souk, and it shows people that go in to do training. It's actually a hull with the same electronics, and that there are 3 projectors show the ocean and any kind of thing that we want to put on there. So we could do burning boats, we could simulate snow, rain, fog. Very, very good way of training. This is our classroom at the Souk training office, and it shows our instructor teaching the basic skills to our new crews and to coxswains. So all are different levels, because there's different skills that you learn at different levels, and this is a very good way of training. So they do the classroom first, then they go back into the simulator, and then they go out on a real boat to practice those skills. This is a couple of our boats operating with the Coast Guard hovercraft, and the Coast Guard is a very, very good partner for us, helping us do different calls, giving us some funding, and helping us with training. This is a picture of our 2 vessels for Nanaimo. The one in the bottom right is our Falcons class vessel. It's a jet boat, and it's enclosed, so it keeps our people warm. It keeps the people that we're rescuing warm. And it's a very, very maneuverable boat because of the jets. This was a fun day. Rick Mercer Report came to Nanaimo and did our station, and we took him out on the boats, and he is a fun guy to be with, and we totally enjoyed it.
He's there front and center in that shot.
He is.
Yes. Yeah. What an honor
It's
to be
a total
featured on
honor.
Rick Mercer. I mean,
He wanted to drive the boats, do everything.
a true Canadian moment.
He is.
Yeah.
This is the RCMP dive team that's training some of our members on how to work with divers, because we do have diver calls, and it was a very, very good day. We thank the RCMP for being part of our agency. This is a picture of the Falcons jet boat from the tow post that's on the front, and it just shows how fast it's going and how maneuverable it is. This shows our stretcher that we can actually lower and raise off beach. We can drive the jet boat right up on the beach and then recover patients this way, swing it around, and move the patients right into our stretcher bay.
Wow.
This is a picture of our open boat, the Minnow, doing some training in Departure Bay. This is a picture of a rescue in the open ocean. These are both vessels going out to help. I think there was 6 people that were sitting on a submerged hull upside down.
Oh, how scary.
It was scary, and they were very glad to see us.
Oh, wow.
This is a picture, if you're in the water and you're in trouble, this is the picture you want to see. This is one of our members reaching and helping somebody off the swim grid of our jet boat.
Wow, what a welcome sight. I mean, that just gives me goosebumps. Imagine being the recipient of that helping hand.
Yes.
Wow.
This shows that we do a lot of calls at night. So we have a lot of equipment that we can use for safe navigation at night, and lots of spotlights because we do searches. And we have the capability and training that we make sure that our people can operate at night under speed.
Wow.
This is a picture of both our boats working as a display for the festival. And this is the cormorant that dropped some SAR techs off the helicopter onto the back of our jet boat.
From Comox Search and
Comox,
Rescue?
yes.
Yeah, from the base there.
This is just an
Ooh.
example of a burning vessel that we had to attend to, and the people got off safely, and we were able to help them. And unfortunately, the boat didn't make it.
But the people did.
But the
Yes.
people did,
Yeah.
and that's our focus,
Yeah.
is save lives on the water.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful.
This is a picture of the jet boat showing and demonstrating some of its skills. So it's able to walk sideways, which is a unique way of a boat operating.
Like a crab.
And it can stop in its own length, and it can turn in its own length
Wow,
because of the way the
that's very
configuration of the
maneuverable.
jets. Yes.
What a
So-
great shot. Was that
Oh, it's-
done with a drone?
That's done with a drone.
Yeah,
That's right.
It's a great shot.
And this is a picture of our training center. We've got a large piece of property in Souk, and this is where the simulator is and where the classroom is, and our main regional office. So I'll just give you an
Wow.
idea of some of the things that we do.
Yeah, just a snapshot. Now, Debbie, like, obviously, the gear, the equipment, the boats, the gas, the fuel, the training, all of this takes money. How are you funded? Being a nonprofit, not-for-profit agency, where does your funding come from?
Well, we are nonprofit, as you said. We're all volunteers. So we have to find money in the community. We put in gaming grants, and that pays for a substantial amount of our equipment and our training, our upgrades to our boats, the maintenance, the repairs. We get some of our costs through the Coast Guard for fuel expenses while training or while on a mission. We get money from various local organizations, the Port Authority, the Yacht Club, various Rotary clubs. We have money from a few memorial funds that help us provide, equipment that's up to date, modern, and is going to keep our crew safe. But that's one of the responsibilities I have, is making sure that the money is there, and it's actually a very expensive operation to run.
Oh, it looks like it, yeah.
The boats are high tech, they're expensive, they have to have the best equipment.
They have to be maintained.
They do,
Yeah.
and it's all done by volunteers.
Tremendous.
It's a huge commitment for the group of 50-odd people that are involved. They're out there quite a bit.
There, yeah.
It's not all out in the water. A lot of it's, inside checking the oil or doing the repairs, or somebody says this piece of equipment's not working quite right. And making sure, because when you need it, you need it.
So 1,100 volunteers along the coast here. What is the demographic of the average volunteer here? What age range do you have coming out? Demographics, women, men?
We have a wide range of volunteers. They range, like myself, a senior, retired, to some young people that are 19, 20, so all in between. And we
Fantastic.
want that variety because the younger ones can come along and backfill when people finish. It helps in our training regime because we have 4 or 5 different levels that people can go through. So the next level kind of trains the junior level. And we want to make sure that we've got skilled people at all times of the day and night. Because we're on call all the time, you need to have a crew of 5 ready to go at a moment's notice.
Yes, we're on call 24 hours a day,
24/7.
7 days a week, 365 days a year. There are always calls on Christmas Day. It's
Wow.
a guarantee.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, there will be several calls.
Wow.
I don't think we've missed one in years.
Isn't that
and
interesting?
those crew members that have volunteered to be available that day have to be up and ready to go.
So, just walk us through this. If I call 911, or Debbie, the other number here that people should call, the emergency
Well,
number.
Actually, if you want to get through quickly, 911 will do it. They will do a transfer, and it takes a few minutes because they ask you what kind of a call, and they make sure they're sending you in the right place. But we suggest to people they call *16 or #16 on their cell phone, and that takes you directly to the Rescue Control Center in Victoria.
Okay.
And so you're
Good to know.
immediately talking to the people that can get you the help you need.
The quickest way to get you.
That's right. And they'll ask you where you are, how many people are on board, what kind of vessel it is, what your problem is, and they'll clarify what kind of help you need. They'll often put out a call to the community, all the boaters on the water in the area. Is anybody available to help?
Yeah.
And see if we can get someone there right away, because maybe you're fishing and there's other boats around, they can
Right.
come help.
Right.
Or they'll get our crew out to see what we can do right away. But * or #16 is the most efficient way of getting through.
Good to note.
But if you don't remember that, call 911
911.
and they will put you through.
Okay. So Gordie, I've called *16. I've got my distress call out there. My boat's on fire. What happens at your end now? How do you
What happens
mobilize?
if there's a call either on the radio or on the phone to 911? They will go to the Joint Rescue Coordination Center in Esquimalt, and what they will do is they know where the location is that the event has happened. They will look at their map of assets, and assets are like the vessels that we have.
Right.
And they're looking to see who is the closest asset to meet that tasking. And we will page us on our phones and also give us an email and a text. So there are those three ways of getting.
Simultaneously.
And so all the crews get that,
Yeah.
and the crew that's on call will go down to the boathouse and get the boat ready to go. So we can usually get away within 15 to 20 minutes from a call.
15 to 20 minutes from the call to being on the water?
Yes.
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 Actually, I
That's
checked
amazing.
our stats. We are about 13 minutes so far this year.
Perfect. Yeah.
Under.
So-
You're
But
13
it
minutes.
takes time, and
It takes
obviously
time.
our crews need to be within a certain distance from
Right.
the boathouse. They can't be a long, long way away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our mandate is to be on the water within 30 minutes, so we're beating that
Wow.
quite easily. right?
Very, very
Yeah.
much so. Yes. And I understand that your station here in Nanaimo received the most calls out of any of the search and rescue
Yes.
stations last year. How
Yes.
many calls was that, Debbie?
We were 72 calls, January to December last year.
Wow.
And all over the region that goes basically from the Winchelsea Islands, Nanoose Bay area, all the way down to Round Island, which is just south of Dodd Narrows, and
yeah.
through there. So it's quite a large area. And we go
How far out in the water into Salish Sea do
basically
you go?
out to the middle,
Okay.
or as far as they ask us to go. We've had a couple of taskings that
Yeah.
our boats have been sent right across.
Yeah.
There's a problem, we need you. You can be there in 30 minutes, so let's go.
Wow.
And we will head across and see what we can do.
And sometimes if there's a big event and the Coast Guard really want to make sure that there's lots of people that go there, they'll send multiple assets. So they might send us, then Ladysmith and the hovercraft from Vancouver.
Comox.
And
Yeah.
so whoever's first on scene,
Yeah.
evaluates the scene and says, we need some more help here, or we've got it in hand, we've got the pumps going, or if it's a flooded boat or something. But they want to make sure that those assets are sent, and then we can stand them down if they're not needed.
And so you're called out, obviously night and day. Are there more night calls than day calls? I mean, and you're obviously called out more in really rough weather, I would imagine.
Definitely in rough weather.
Yeah.
Obviously more in the summertime.
Yeah.
But this area here has got a lot of boating traffic because we're in the middle of a lot of different boating areas and Vancouver.
That's why we're the hub.
That's right, we're the hub, so we get more traffic. Yeah, so the chances of getting a call are higher.
Are your members also trained for float plane rescues? If a float plane goes down, is there a special training they receive?
We haven't done a float plane rescue, but at the interagency meetings that we have talked to Harbour Air about doing some
Great.
training with float planes,
Yeah.
because that's important. There's a lot of takeoffs and landings here.
Exactly, yeah. Harbour Air is the busiest biggest floatplane company in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, right here in our harbor city.
Yeah.
And I understand you also work with BC Ferries for assistance or rescues that they
Well,
might
BC
encounter.
Ferries actually help us. I mean, if we're out in the middle of the strait or in a ferry area and we're needing help because it's very, very windy or wavy, they will actually go and protect our boat while we're doing the rescue. That's happened a few times.
Provide
We've also
shelter.
they provide
Yes.
shelter
Yeah,
for
a
us.
buffer.
Windbreak makes a
Yeah.
huge difference.
Of course, yeah.
But we also do training with them, and it just helps their crew and it helps our crew to do that training.
And they'll call us if they see something amiss. They'll
Yeah.
put a call into the Joint Rescue Control Center and they'll say, this is what we've noticed, should you check it out? And so it's a nice piece of teamwork that you see going on there.
Absolutely.
We work with a lot of the different agencies. We work with the Harbor Patrol and we work with the RCMP, the ambulance service, all sorts of different organizations
Quite
on the water.
an army of volunteers and paid staff too, as well. Yeah.
Well, if you need help, you need it now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be sometimes hard to ascertain from a call exactly what is required. Often when you get out to the scene itself, is it slightly different than you imagined?
Oh, yes.
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 Yeah, because the initial report could be somebody that's on land that sees something through their binoculars. If it's the people that are on the vessel itself, you do get a bit more information. But no, we never know what we're going to find until we get there.
And things worsen quickly.
Yeah.
Often,
Yeah.
you might think, oh, well, I'm okay, this will be all right. And then 15, 20 minutes later, you suddenly realize it's not as good as you thought.
Right, and people are probably reluctant to call right away because they figure, oh, I can handle this, or as you say, it'll go away.
We really encourage people to call early. Let us know that you're having a problem. We'll get out there, we'll help you solve it. It's free, and see what we can do before it becomes a catastrophe.
Yes, it's free, but we also encourage our viewers to donate.
We do, yes.
And support you through the various fundraisers that you have.
Because that's the only way that we can fund so much of the new equipment that we need, the resources, the helmets, all the things that we need to be safe on the water. And without them and without donations, it really does affect what we can do.
And we love legacy funding.
Oh, okay, talk to us about that.
Well, people that have been in the boating industry, that know what's happening out on the water and appreciate the level of professionalism and we're there right away kind of attitude, that they say, you know what, I really enjoyed having that as a backup for, I was a fisherman for years, and
Yes.
I'd love to donate to the search and rescue organization that maybe helped me in the past. So, the more people that help us with legacy funding, the more we can pay attention to doing rescues and not having to go out there and do fundraising.
Yes,
That's right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody would much rather focus on saving lives on the water.
Yeah.
And on your website, RCMSAR27.ca, people can look on there for lots of really good information, including how to donate
Yes.
and how to support you and how to volunteer. So if one were to volunteer, what is the commitment that they're looking for, Debbie? What would if I was to sign up tomorrow, what am I looking for in terms of commitment?
Initially, we will ask you to go through an interview process. We can only, we call hire, 6 or 7 new candidates a year. And they are asked to commit every Wednesday night for the entire year, plus occasional weekends and other nights as needed for their training.
And that's evenings, right?
It's evenings, yeah, from 7 till about 10 on a regular basis, no matter what the weather is. And it's very intensive training. They learn a phenomenal amount about navigation, about boat handling, all the skills you need to be capable on the water. And we do that for the entire year. They work through various levels, and they become full crew after they show competency at the various techniques and training aspects.
And we want them to hang around for a couple of years
Yes,
after to give back to the organization that trained them.
Is there a minimum you require if you've trained them for the year? You expect like at least a 3-year commitment, or
A couple years anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, but we've got some long-term people that
It's
are.
not carved in stone, but we encourage people to stay. Circumstance happens sometimes, so. But if we're going to put that much time and money in, we really would like them to. And that's part of why we do the interview process.
Very
to
good.
make sure that they're good candidates and they're really interested in the kind of work that we do.
And meeting new people. from all kinds of agencies, not just within the search and rescue team
Yes.
itself, but as you mentioned, all the other agencies that you're working with too. Tremendous opportunities for cross connections there.
Yes.
Your retention rate with your volunteers, how many have been around for, more than 5 years?
Quite a few.
Yep.
On SAR, probably a third of them have been around for probably 10 years or more. And that's why we keep bringing on six or seven people a year, is to
Yep.
just handle that attrition.
Last year's crew of 7 are all still active crew members.
Very
This
good.
year's group that are all training look like they're all going to make it through. So we're getting, lots of very, very capable people, and they're really committed.
So for volunteers too, you don't need just the search and rescue aspect, but I'm sure there's some administrative tasks or some teaching tasks, those other things for people who aren't maybe as robust or, can't.
Well, people like myself, I do the society, and that's how I came in. I came in to become part of the society, to become involved in the community events, be our land presence at festivals, so people don't go, who are those people?
Right.
What are they doing? So we
Right.
could explain. And then that developed into the classroom boating safety program that we offer school children. And we go out to all sorts of organizations now. There's a group of 3 of us that are doing this, and we're just, getting into classrooms, getting into community groups, guides, scouts, even a
Wonderful.
few preschoolers.
Cadets.
Anybody that shows interest and asks us to come, we will come and put on an hour-long presentation. How to wear a life jacket PFD correctly, what all the boating equipment is, how to use it. And our focus is teaching children as young as 6 and 7 that yes, they can help save a life. If something happens on the water, they will know what to do to make sure they get back to shore safely.
Fantastic. Teach them early so they can go home and teach their parents.
That's
right.
very
Exactly.
much what we do. And then when we do teach them, we give all the children a whistle to take home and a card about who we are, how to call for help. And then we give them a Ziploc bag to put their cell phone in. Because you
There
know what
you
happens
go.
when cell phones
A wet
get wet.
cell phone.
And we show the
You
children
can't
that
even call for help.
you can actually call and do everything through the plastic bag.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so
How handy is that?
We send all the children that we work home with a little safety kit.
Just show us again the you do boat inspections, free
Yes,
boat
we do.
inspections,
So
which is
these-
a tremendous service.
Yeah, the last 2 summers we have been going to the Mark Bay docks and to the Brecken boat launch, and we'll ask people if we can inspect their boat. It's a very quick and easy 10-minute inspection, and we're looking for the basic safety equipment. And we go through and we ask to see their life jackets, their flares, their fire extinguisher, their flashlight, their throw rope, all the things that you need to have to meet the Transport Canada regulations. And then we've been giving them one of these free kits as well.
Wow.
And these are perfect for your dinghy or your kayak. They have the whistle, the watertight flashlight, the throw rope, all those things, for your smaller vessel.
So even if I'm on a paddleboard, Debbie, should I have one of those?
Yes, you need this equipment.
Do you do many paddleboard rescues where people
We
or
get the kite surfers.
kite
Surfers
surfers
for sure.
who
Yeah,
got
they-
off course?
Outriggers,
Outriggers.
dragon boats.
Yes. Kayakers. Kayakers, they get swamped
Yes.
and they end up in the water. That's not an
Yes.
unusual call. I think we've had 2
Yeah.
of those
Quite a few, yeah.
since the beginning of this year. It's a very common call.
Wow.
So
One piece of advice, Debbie, if you could give our viewers one piece of advice about staying safe out on the water. what
wear
would
your
you-
life jacket. Don't even go out on the water without. And if you're a parent, make sure you have it on. Don't just put them on your children, because if something happens and you fall in, your child's sitting there going, now what?
Yes.
And they can't save you if you're not going to
No,
help save
they're in
yourself.
peril.
Wear a life jacket and help save everybody.
Yeah, if you fall in the water, cold shock is going to change the way your body operates, and you kind of lose the operation of your hands and your legs. So you can't really do too much.
Right.
If you got a life jacket on, at least it's holding you up, so
Right.
you can last a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Gordie, why do you do what you do?
I love boating, and I love giving back to the community. The community's been there to support me through my life and my family, and this is my way of giving back to the community. Besides, it's a feel-good thing. I mean, I've done like 177 rescues over 10 years.
Wow.
And been involved in them, and I've saved lives and literally pulled people out of the water, and
Yeah.
they've come back and survived.
Yeah.
So our station has saved about 115
At least.
this year.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And over the region.
This year.
Oh, sorry, 15.
15.
In the region, we've done about 115
Yes,
saved.
just this year.
People
Actual
saved.
people that would
Yeah.
not have lived
Wow.
if we hadn't been there.
Do any of them come back and volunteer?
Not usually, no.
No.
No, sometimes you just never hear from them.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's an embarrassment thing or,
Yeah.
you know.
Down the road a few years later, you'll sometimes bump into them. We have a few people in the community that every time they see us, they make a donation because we did help them. And that we very much appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't charge. And
No.
you know, it's us volunteering to make sure that our community is safe on the water.
Yeah. Do you think there should be some kind of nominal fee?
No, not really.
No.
We don't want people saying,
No.
I can't afford it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then that stops them from voting.
Yeah.
And people will die. So it's more important that we go out and serve them and help them.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a monetary based.
No.
No, it's always nice if afterwards they can, provide some support, but it's not expected.
Good.
Now, you asked about people that want to recruit,
Right.
that want to be a
vo-
member. So we do have some fundamentals as far as, who can apply. And we get a lot of applications, and then we have an interview process to weed them down. But our basic fundamentals is that they need to have PCOC, which is a license for boat.
Okay, a boating license.
They need to be within 15 minutes of our boathouse.
Which is down on.
It's down in Departure Bay
Departure
by
Bay.
the
Yeah,
ferry.
Dragon Point.
They need to have a radio operator certificate on ROC. And to have some boating knowledge is really, really handy.
Yeah.
And to be able to be a team player is really important.
That would be
Because we
key.
get a variety of different people. And every time that we have 5 people are on call, it's not always the same 5 people. So
Yeah.
it's nice for a coxswain like me to know that these people are skilled. I know that I can put them on the radar position and navigate in restricted visibility at 20 knots, and I feel comfortable about that.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
we really weed them out that way.
Well, that's wonderful. And a lot of really good information, including a very good video, is on your website, RCMSAR.ca.
That's
For viewers,
correct.
they can get more information on how to apply, look at the video that shows an actual rescue.
That's
And
the region's,
the region's
that's the
website.
region's
Yeah.
website.
Yeah.
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 But thank you both for what you're doing out there to keep our communities safe, for the risks that you personally take to ensure that others are safe. We really, really thank you for that. So we'll welcome you back in the spring to talk more about boating safety.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Great.
I'd enjoy showing you all the things that we have. and
Very good.
What people should have for their.
And
Thank you
thanks
so
for the
much.
opportunity to give
is
us
great. It's
my
to tell
pleasure.
people about our roles.
Very good.
Yeah.
And if you have any show ideas, please contact Annette Lucas, our executive producer here. We want to thank you for joining us here on Head On. And remember the unsung heroes of the Royal Canadian Marine Search and Rescue next time you're out on the water. Stay safe. We'll see you next time on Head On.